The second application is with bearings. And as I've already mentioned, bearings is used when you're using boating or when you're flying in the air to describe angles from north, south, east, and west. We don't work with the coordinate plane saying the x-axis and the y-axis as we're navigating a ship or a plane. Instead, we use bearings. And bearings are found by using a fixed north-south line and measuring from either the north or the south line. So the way you'll see bearings written is this: N 75 degrees east. And what that's saying in English is 75 degrees east of north. That's what it is in plain English, 75 degrees east of north. So if I look at this on the coordinate plane, here's my north, south, east, and west. I'm no longer starting at 0 and going up 75 degrees. I am basing everything off of the information I'm given here. So here, 75 degrees east of north means I'm going in the east direction from north. So there's 75 degrees east of north. I could go west of south. So here in this situation, let's say I wanted 29 degrees west of south. If I were to do that, I would be going here, 29 degrees west of south. If I wanted 80 degrees west of north, there's 80 degrees. You're basing it off the north or the south line. Most of the time it's going to be north. So one of the applications then is using bearings. So here on a small lake, a child swam from point A to point B at a bearing of 28 degrees east of north. Then the child swam to point C at a bearing of 58 degrees west of north. Point C is 800 meters due north of point A. How many total meters did the child swim? So let's start by drawing a picture. I'm just going to label down here as point A. This is where the child's going to start. And the child swam from point A to point B at a bearing of 28 degrees east of north. So I'm going to put my little bearings right here. Here's my north, here's my east. And if I'm going 28 degrees east of north, I'm heading in this direction. So there's my 28 degrees east of north. And then I head to point B. Then the child swam to point C at a bearing of 58 degrees west of north. So at point B, I've got another little bearing set up. This time it's going to be 58 degrees west of north. And then finally I know point C is 800 meters due north. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of math here in order to figure out my angle measurements. First thing that I know here is I actually know what angle C is. Since I've got 58 degrees here, I know that alternate interior angles are congruent. This right here I said was due north. So I've got really two parallel lines here if I were to extend my north-south line. So here I'd have alternate interior angles. This is sort of would be your transversal cutting them. So this right here is also 58 degrees. And if I know that, I can then figure out the big angle inside here. This triangle has to be 180 degrees. So 180 minus 58 minus 28 is 94 degrees. So you can just subtract from 180 in order to get that angle measurement. Now I want to know how many total meters did the child swim. So I want to find side A, side B, side C, and add all three together. So let's start. We know this is point A here, which would be angle A. So this would be side A, this would be side B. So actually this would be side C because B here is across from our bearing B, which is 94 degrees. So let's start with the sine of B over B is equal to the sine of A over A. So the sine of 94 over 800 equals the sine of 28 over A. Cross multiply 800 times sine of 28, divide by the sine of 94, and we get A is 376.494 meters. So here 376.494 meters. Do the same thing, finding side C. Sine of B over B equals the sine of C over C. So the sine of 94 over 800 is equal to the sine of 58 over C. 800 times the sine of 58, we'll divide that by the sine of 94. C is equal to 680.095 meters. And then finally, to figure out how many total meters did the child swim, we'll add all those together. 800 plus 680.095 plus 376.494. And we get that he swam 1,856.589 meters. Now, some of you might say he only swam 1,056.589 meters because it never really says the child came all the way back to point A. And if you interpreted the problem like that, I'd be fine with that. But I'd be pretty clear in terms of what I'm looking for. So in terms of this problem, I was implying that he was swimming back to the starting point. And so then you have to add all three sides together.